This is for Pillar26, who says that it's a member of Reform, community of Reform Jews will be converting accordingly, with everything that entails. And I realize the conversion is not universally accepted, and can live with that. But recently read an article about Orthodox conversions being annulled in Israel. You linked an article, by the way. I tried to pull up the article, but it said cannot be found. It seems to me that as a sum of Jews by birth, a convert will always be a ger, regardless of the domination of the conversion process. That is, that people are flawed and have their prejudices, but I'd like to hear an insider's perspective of the non-politically correct view of converts. What are your thoughts on conversions being annulled? Is there such a thing as a Hasidic conversion being more valid than a modern Orthodox conversion? In terms of conversion, Orthodox is Orthodox, and there's no distinction between Hasidic or Litvish or anything. An Orthodox conversion is halachically binding and it's universal. There are some cases of I think there's Rabbi Raskin in Brooklyn Heights who does some conversions, and the state of Israel has began rejecting some of these. They're getting a little more picky. They want to make sure that it's a genuine conversion. In terms of reform or conservative or reconstructionist conversions, you note that they're not accepted by the Orthodox world, but there's no distinction between those either. It's either an Orthodox conversion, and the main difference seems to be the acceptance of the yoke of heaven, meaning the acceptance that you're going to do your best to fulfill the 613 commandments as outlined in the Torah and as elucidated by the commentaries by the sages throughout the generations. My honest opinion is with all due respect, I don't know why someone would convert non-Orthodox. If you find meaning in it, it's good for you. But if you really want to, if down the road you're going to want to, marry Orthodox and really have a Jewish identity, like you note here, it's not going to be accepted in the state of Israel. In terms of the Torah's view of converts, you should know that in the Gemara, I'm sure you learned this, it says, it talks about a convert, it says, Hager Shinizgar, a convert that converts. So the Gemara asks a question, shouldn't it say a non-Jew who converts? Why is he already called a convert? So according to the opinion of the sages of the Talmud, a convert is someone who is born with a Jewish soul, but he's born to non-Jewish parents, and he has an amazing challenge of finding the truth through despite all obstacles. And when he finds the truth, he converts. But the whole time he's called a convert because he has a Jewish soul. And once he goes through the Orthodox Jewish conversion process, this manifests itself fully, and now he's a full-fledged member of the Jewish world, of the Orthodox Jewish world, the Jewish world at large. And retroactively, we say that the whole time he had a Jewish soul. Now, I wouldn't feel comfortable saying that about reform or conservative conversions because there's no acceptance that you're going to keep Shabbos according to halacha or keep kosher according to halacha. And this is something I don't claim to understand. I don't know what exactly pushes a person to have this kind of conversion. Again, if you find meaning in it, then good. But the beauty of Judaism is the acceptance of yoke of heaven, that there is a master above you, and this master is invisible, it doesn't have a body, and he dictates the laws which govern the universe. Of course, now, this is the Torah is not in the heavens, and now we have courts of Jewish law, and we have, the Torah is a living, breathing document. And throughout every generation, sages have come and as it were, not added to the Torah, but further clarified how Torah applies to this specific generation, to this specific community, and they're still able to do that at this point. There's still many people asking. Rav Moshe Feinstein, Zecher Tzedek Livracha, answered many questions regarding electricity and different kinds of levels of kosher standards with regards to milk in an area we couldn't get Chalav Yisrael and things like this, and Erev in New York. I mean, modern questions. And this is the power of the rabbis, that they're able to make Judaism apply in 5769 in today's day and age, not just 3,020 years ago to a group of former slaves wandering in the desert, discussing subliminal topics, at length. So that's my take. The Torah's take obviously is a ger is a very high level. A convert is a very high level soul who has to see the truth through his family and friends, through society at large, which society at large generally hates the Jewish people and puts down the Jewish people. And the ger has to see that there is only one God, and God was never a man, and Moses is the greatest prophet of all time. It says in the Torah of Moses that there wasn't in Israel a prophet like Moses anymore. So no later prophet could come and undo the word of Moses. And someone that despite all this still seeks out truth as he sees it, and comes to the conclusion that Judaism is the truth, and that the acceptance of the yoke of heaven is the most important thing, and goes through a conversion process that that makes him a full-fledged member. There's no distinction. In fact, it says that we're commanded to love the convert even more than the regular Jew, because we were strangers in Egypt, and we used to be, we have to have special sensitivity to converts. You're not allowed to tell a convert, or even a man who comes back in repentance, you can't tell him, you used to do like this and this, and now you're under the wings of the Shekhinah, and now you're so close to God. You can't remind him of his past. You have to talk to him very gently and very nicely, and you have to love him even more than a regular Jew. So the Torah is very sensitive towards converts, and God loves the convert very much. I hope this helps, and if I offended your process, it wasn't my intention, but you obviously know that I say what I think, and you ask me the question, I'm giving you the answer. But if you ask a Reform rabbi or a conservative rabbi, obviously you get a much different answer, and I myself am not a rabbi, nor do I feign to be one, and especially now I took off my beard and my hat, so I can't say that I look like one either. But that's it. I hope this helps, and may God bless you in your journey, and may He bless and protect you in everything that you do. Thank you so much.